Question 1. In which project management process group is the project charter developed and formally authorized? A. Planning. B. Executing. C. Initiating. D. Monitoring and controlling. Answer: C. Initiating. The project charter is formally developed and authorized in the initiating process group, which focuses on defining a new project or a new phase of an existing project and obtaining authorization to start it. This document provides the project manager with the authority to apply organizational resources to project activities. Think of the initiating process group as the official kickoff, where the project gets its initial blessing and formal approval. This formal authorization is crucial because it gives the project legitimacy and empowers the project manager to begin work. Question 2. Which of the following is considered an enterprise environmental factor, EEF? A. Organizational process assets. B. Project management plan. C. Government regulations. D. Project team members. Answer: C. Government regulations. Government regulations are classified as enterprise environmental factors, EFs, because they are external or internal conditions that are not under the direct control of the project team but can influence, constrain, or direct the project. EEFs are typically pre-existing conditions that affect how a project is managed, such as market conditions, organizational culture, or legal restrictions. Understanding EEFs is crucial as they represent the context in which the project operates and must be considered during planning and execution. Always remember that EEFs are generally given and are beyond the project manager's immediate influence. Question 3. What is the primary purpose of a lessons learned register in project management? A. To track project budget variances. B. To document risks identified during project execution. C. To store knowledge gained for future projects or phases. D. To record daily team stand-up meeting outcomes. Answer: C. To store knowledge gained for future projects or phases. The primary purpose of a lessons learned register is to document knowledge gained during a project or phase, including successes, failures, and challenges, to improve future project performance. This register serves as an organizational process asset, OPA, that contributes to the continuous improvement of project management practices within an organization. By capturing and sharing these insights, organizations can avoid repeating mistakes and leverage effective strategies in subsequent projects. Think of it as building an organizational memory to make every new project smarter than the last. Question 4. A project manager discovers that a key stakeholder's expectations are not being met despite adhering to the scope baseline. What is the best immediate action for the project manager to take? A. Reassure the stakeholder that the project is on track. B. Formally change the project scope to meet new expectations. C. Review the stakeholder engagement plan and re-evaluate stakeholder expectations. D. Ignore the stakeholder as the project scope is fixed. Answer: C. Review the stakeholder engagement plan and re-evaluate stakeholder expectations. When a key stakeholder's expectations are not being met, even with the scope baseline followed, the project manager should first review the stakeholder engagement plan and re-evaluate the stakeholder's needs and expectations. It's crucial to understand the root cause of the misalignment before taking action, as expectations might have shifted or were initially misunderstood. This proactive engagement helps in managing relationships and ensures that stakeholders feel heard and valued. Remember, effective stakeholder management involves continuous communication and adaptation, not just adherence to initial plans. Question 5. In an Agile project, what is the primary purpose of the daily stand-up meeting, daily scrum? A. To assign new tasks to team members. B. To discuss what was done yesterday, what will be done today, and any impediments. C. To review and approve completed user stories. D. To present the sprint review to stakeholders. Answer: B. To discuss what was done yesterday, what will be done today, and any impediments. The primary purpose of the daily stand-up meeting, also known as the daily scrum in Scrum methodology, is for the development team to synchronize activities and create a plan for the next 24 hours. Each team member briefly shares what they accomplished since the last meeting, what they plan to do before the next, and any obstacles they are facing. This meeting is for the team's benefit, fostering transparency and quick identification of impediments. It's a key inspect and adapt mechanism, ensuring the team stays aligned and roadblocks are addressed promptly. Question 6. Which project management knowledge area is primarily concerned with identifying the people, groups, or organizations that could impact or be impacted by the project? A. Project communications management. B. Project resource management. C. Project stakeholder management. D. Project integration management. Answer: C. Project stakeholder management. Project stakeholder management is the knowledge area primarily concerned with identifying all people, groups, or organizations that could be impacted by or have an impact on the project, and then analyzing their expectations and influence to develop appropriate engagement strategies. This involves actively communicating with and engaging stakeholders throughout the project life cycle. Recognizing who your stakeholders are and understanding their needs is fundamental to navigating project complexity successfully. Think of stakeholder management as the art of building and maintaining effective relationships around your project. Question 7. What is the primary output of the Develop Project Charter process? A. Project Management Plan. B. Project Charter. C. Scope Baseline. D. Work Performance Reports. Answer: B. Project Charter. The primary output of the Develop Project Charter process is the project charter itself, which formally authorizes the existence of a project and provides the project manager with the authority to apply organizational resources to project activities. This document typically includes high-level project information, such as the project purpose, measurable objectives, success criteria, and identified stakeholders. It's the foundational document that gives a project its official start and direction. Consider it the project's birth certificate, officially launching its existence. Question 8. A project manager is analyzing external and internal factors that could positively or negatively influence the project. Which tool or technique is being applied? A. Expert judgment. B. Data analysis, e.g., SWOT analysis. C. Meetings. D. Product analysis. Answer: B. Data analysis, e.g., SWOT analysis. When a project manager analyzes external and internal factors that could influence a project, they are applying a data analysis technique such as a SWOT analysis. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, helping to identify internal, strengths and weaknesses, and external, opportunities and threats, factors relevant to the project. This analysis provides a comprehensive understanding of the project's environment and potential impacts. Utilizing such analytical tools helps in strategic planning and risk identification from a holistic perspective. Question 9. In which project management process group are most of the project's work, including creating deliverables and executing activities, performed? A. Planning. B. Executing. C. Monitoring and controlling. D. Closing. Answer: B. Executing. The executing process group is where the majority of the project's work is performed, including carrying out the activities defined in the project management plan to produce the project's deliverables. This involves directing and managing the project work, performing quality assurance, acquiring and developing the project team, and managing communications. Think of executing as the doing phase of the project, where plans are put into action. It's where the actual product, service, or result of the project begins to take shape. Question 10. What is the main characteristic of a predictive, waterfall, project life cycle? A. Requirements are refined throughout the project. B. Deliverables are produced in frequent iterations. C. the scope, time, and cost are determined early in the project. D. Stakeholder feedback is continuously incorporated. Answer: C. The scope, time, and cost are determined early in the project. The main characteristic of a predictive, or waterfall, project life cycle is that the project scope, time, and cost are determined early in the project, and changes are tightly controlled. This approach requires detailed planning upfront and assumes that the requirements can be clearly defined at the beginning. It follows a sequential progression through distinct phases. Think of it like building a house with a very detailed blueprint created before construction begins, where changes midway are costly and difficult. Question 11. Which document provides the detailed steps and actions necessary to achieve project objectives, integrating all subsidiary plans? A. Project Charter. B. Project Scope Statement. C. Project Management Plan. D. Requirements Traceability Matrix. Answer: C. Project Management Plan. The Project Management Plan is the comprehensive document that integrates all subsidiary plans, such as the Scope Management Plan, Schedule Management Plan, Cost Management Plan, and others, to define how the project will be executed, monitored, controlled, and closed. It serves as the single source of truth for how the project will be managed and is continuously refined throughout the project. This plan acts as the project manager's guidebook, ensuring consistency and alignment across all project activities. Question 12. What is the purpose of a Change Control Board, CCB, in a project? A. To manage the daily tasks of the project team. B. To approve or reject changes to the project baselines. C. To resolve conflicts among project stakeholders. D. To develop the project's risk management plan. Answer: B. To approve or reject changes to the project baselines. A Change Control Board, CCB, is a formally constituted group responsible for reviewing, evaluating, approving, deferring, or rejecting changes to the project, and for recording and communicating such decisions. The CCB is crucial for maintaining control over the project's scope, schedule, and cost baselines, ensuring that only necessary and agreed-upon changes are implemented. This process helps prevent scope creep and ensures project stability. Think of the CCB as the project's gatekeeper for any modifications that could impact its original plan. Question 13. Which of the following is an example of an organizational process asset, OPA? A. Company culture. B. Historical project information. C. Market conditions. D. Industry standards. Answer: B. Historical project information. Historical project information, such as project files, lessons learned, and performance data from previous projects, is an example of an organizational process asset, OPA. OPAs are internal to the organization and represent the plans, processes, policies, procedures, and knowledge bases that influence the project's success. Unlike EEFs, OPAs are under the control of the organization and can be updated or improved. Leveraging OPAs helps project managers avoid reinventing the wheel and benefit from past experiences. Question 14. In an Agile context, what is a sprint backlog? A. A prioritized list of all features for the product. B. A list of items selected from the product backlog for a sprint, along with the plan for delivering the increment. C. A document detailing all known risks for the current iteration. D. A collection of completed user stories awaiting release. Answer: B. A list of items selected from the product backlog for a sprint, along with the plan for delivering the increment. The sprint backlog is a subset of the product backlog that contains the items selected for the current sprint, along with the team's plan for delivering the increment and realizing the sprint goal. It is created by the development team during sprint planning and is a highly visible, real-time picture of the work that the team intends to complete during the sprint. Think of it as the team's detailed to-do list for a short, focused period, guiding their daily work. Question 15. What is the primary difference between a project and ongoing operations? A. Projects have specific objectives, operations are continuous. B. Projects are always complex, operations are always simple. C. Projects use resources, operations do not. D. Projects are always external, operations are always internal. Answer: A. Projects have specific objectives, operations are continuous. The primary difference between a project and ongoing operations is that a project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result, meaning it has a definite beginning and end. Operations, conversely, are continuous, repetitive functions that produce the same result or provide an ongoing service. Projects have distinct objectives and cease once those objectives are met, whereas operations sustain the business. Remember, projects are about creating something new and temporary, while operations are about maintaining ongoing business. Question 16. During which process group does the project manager track, review, and regulate the progress and performance of the project, identify any areas in which changes to the plan are required, and initiate those changes? A. Planning. B. Executing. C. Monitoring and controlling. D. Closing. Answer: C. Monitoring and controlling. The monitoring and controlling process group is where the project manager tracks, reviews, and regulates the progress and performance of the project against the project management plan. This involves identifying any variances, analyzing their impact, and initiating necessary changes. It also includes monitoring risks, managing changes, and performing quality control. Think of this process group as the project manager's dashboard, providing real-time information to keep the project on track and respond to deviations. Question 17. The project manager has just completed the direct and manage project work process. What is a key output of this process? A. Project charter. B. Work performance data. C. Project management plan. D. Lessons learned register. Answer: B. Work performance data. A key output of the direct and manage project work process is work performance data. This process involves leading and performing the work defined in the project management plan and implementing approved changes to achieve the project's objectives. As the work is performed, raw observations and measurements, such as actual costs incurred, actual durations, or completed deliverables, are collected. This raw data then becomes inputs for other processes to be analyzed and transformed into useful information. Question 18. Which of the following best describes the role of the project sponsor? A. To manage the daily activities of the project team. B. To provide financial resources and support for the project. C. To create the detailed project schedule and budget. D. To perform quality assurance on project deliverables. Answer: B. To provide financial resources and support for the project. The project sponsor is a key stakeholder who provides the financial resources and overall support for the project, champions the project within the organization, and ensures its alignment with organizational strategy. They typically authorize the project charter, help resolve high-level issues, and protect the project from unnecessary changes or distractions. Think of the sponsor as the project's primary advocate and enabler, ensuring it has the necessary resources and organizational backing to succeed. Question 19. What is the primary purpose of a kickoff meeting in a project? A. To formally close the project and obtain final acceptance. B. To officially start the project, communicate objectives, and align stakeholders. C. To review lessons learned from previous projects. D. To resolve conflicts between project team members. Answer: B. To officially start the project, communicate objectives, and align stakeholders. The primary purpose of a kickoff meeting is to formally mark the official start of a project, communicate the project's objectives to all key stakeholders, and ensure everyone is aligned on goals, roles, and responsibilities. It is a crucial event for building team cohesion and fostering initial buy-in from all parties involved. This meeting sets the tone for collaboration and ensures that all participants have a shared understanding of what lies ahead. Question 20. When should the close project or phase process be performed? A. Only when the project is cancelled. B. At the end of each project phase and at the end of the entire project. C. Only if the project deliverables meet all quality standards. D. Only by the project sponsor. Answer: B. At the end of each project phase and at the end of the entire project. The close project or phase process should be performed at the end of each project phase, as well as at the end of the entire project. This process ensures that all activities for the project or phase are completed, formal acceptance of the final product or service is obtained, and administrative closure activities are performed. Closing phases systematically allows for lessons to be learned and applied, and ensures that resources are formally released. It's about tying up all loose ends and formally moving on. Question 21. Which knowledge area involves identifying, analyzing, and responding to project risks? A. Project quality management. B. Project risk management. C. Project communications management. D. Project procurement management. Answer: B. Project risk management. Project risk management is the knowledge area that includes the processes of conducting risk management planning, identification, analysis, response planning, implementation of responses, and monitoring risk on a project. Its objective is to increase the probability and impact of positive risks, opportunities, and decrease the probability and impact of negative risks, threats, to project objectives. Effectively managing risks helps to reduce uncertainty and increase the likelihood of project success. Think of it as preparing for the unexpected, both good and bad, to protect your project. Question 22. What is the primary purpose of a work breakdown structure, WBS? A. To define the project's schedule and milestones. B. To identify individual team responsibilities. C. To decompose the project scope into smaller, manageable components. D. To track project costs and budget variances. Answer: C. To decompose the project scope into smaller, manageable components. The primary purpose of a work breakdown structure, WBS, is to decompose the total scope of work required to complete a project into smaller, more manageable components or work packages. This hierarchical decomposition helps organize and define the total scope of the project, making it easier to estimate, plan, and control the work. A well-structured WBS ensures that all necessary work is identified and understood. It's like breaking down a large, complex task into bite-sized pieces so you can see all the parts and manage them effectively. Question 23. In an Agile environment, what does a user story primarily represent? A. A technical specification document for a software feature. B. A brief, simple description of a feature from an end-user perspective. C. A detailed plan for sprint execution. D. A report on team performance metrics. Answer: B. A brief, simple description of a feature from an end-user perspective. In an Agile environment, a user story is a brief, simple description of a feature, told from the perspective of the person who desires the new capability, typically an end user. It focuses on value delivered, often following the format as a role, I want, feature, so that, benefit. User stories facilitate understanding of customer needs and support iterative development by providing small, deliverable chunks of functionality. They act as placeholders for conversations to ensure the team builds what the users truly need. Question 24. Which of the following is not typically a component of the project management plan? A. Scope management plan. B. Risk register. C. Cost management plan. D. Schedule management plan. Answer: B. Risk register. While a risk register is a critical project document that lists identified risks, their potential impacts, and responses, it is typically a subsidiary document or an output of risk management processes, not a component of the overarching project management plan itself. The project management plan integrates various management plans, like scope, cost, schedule, risk management plans, that describe how a specific area will be managed, but the actual risk register is a working document. Think of the project management plan as the how-to guide for managing the project, and the risk register as a dynamic list of specific risks identified during that how-to process. Question 25. What is the key focus of the project communications management knowledge area? A. Developing the project team's skills. B. Ensuring timely and appropriate planning, collection, creation, distribution, storage, retrieval, management, control, monitoring, and the ultimate disposition of project information. C. Acquiring goods and services from outside the performing organization. D. Monitoring project progress against the budget. Answer: B. Ensuring timely and appropriate planning, collection, creation, distribution, storage, retrieval, management, control, monitoring, and the ultimate disposition of project information. The key focus of project communications management is to ensure that project information is planned, collected, created, distributed, stored, retrieved, managed, controlled, monitored, and ultimately disposed of in a timely and appropriate manner. Effective communication is vital for project success, as it bridges the gap between stakeholders and ensures everyone is on the same page. This knowledge area ensures that the right information reaches the right people at the right time, fostering understanding and collaboration.